you better. Cause you want this, I want this. Everybody in this world should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them. Yeah, you better. Take the time to recognize it. You won't leave me even if you try it. You're the artist, I'm the mess, and happily be found the new in your hands.
Going live today. What's good? What's good? Hello, YouTube, Facebook, X, TikTok. What's going on? What's going on? Guys, I'm going live today to answer some questions. I hope you guys came with some questions because I'm about to answer them. Answer questions for people today. I had a really good day today. And what's up, boo? Hey, hey, hey. What's up? What's up? What's good? What's good? What's good in the chat? Hey, I see my YouTube. Yes, guys, I had a really good day today. I went live for a little bit on Instagram. My girl Amanda here. I just wanted to pop on here because, I have so much, an abundance of energy today. So, I started, today at, I think 1 o'clock, I started to go live. I was live on TikTok. I was live on Instagram. And I was just letting kind of stuff flow through me because I had to do a little recalibration in the past week. And, I kind of recalibrated. What's up, John? I recalibrated myself back to, inner alignment. And I just wanted to exude that energy outward to, you guys. And so I started at like 1 something, and then I got off for a second, ate a quick fast lunch. And then I interviewed my beautiful friend, Dr. Patrick Porter, the CEO and founder of Brain Tap. And that was like a mind-blowing freaking interview, as always. I mean, he's just one of the smartest people that I know and created such an amazing, amazing modality that uses light, sound, and vibration to basically, really help you get through different things and retrain your brain. And actually what he was explaining today, put energy into your cells, into your brain. So it's easier for you to change. Because we got into it today about, how we sometimes have these negative thought patterns. And when you go through massive things in life, it's like you sometimes get stuck there because you don't have the energy to get out of it, right? So you get stuck in those negative thought patterns and you get stuck in that feeling, and it like brings you and holds you down. So what Brain Tap does is it feeds you back that energy for your cells to be able to, really go through things and just, get your resilience back, which is something I noticed going through the dark night of my soul. I used all of these different things to help me move through my dark night. Because, first of all, I remember when it all happened, like I could not sleep. I didn't sleep very well for the first, first week or so. But then I started meditating. I started doing Brain Tap. Yes. And that helped me to fall asleep. I also, I was telling one of my community members, Jason, what up though, Jason? The Serenity Restful Blend from doTERRA helped me sleep. And yeah, I was doing everything to try to help myself sleep because, guys, if you don't have good sleep, then you're not going to be able to recover. You're not going to have great energy for the day. You're going to feel stuck, right? Because at night is where your brain and your body detox. So if you're not getting into those states of sleep at night, then you're going to have a problem the next day. You're going to feel heavy. You're going to feel the toxic burden. You're going to just not feel right. So once you can really enhance and help your sleep, that is like baseline health, guys. Once you can optimize sleep, that's literally baseline health. So you can really feel better just from the simple things of creating a better sleep pattern. Nitty's in here. What up, Nitty? That's my boy. My boy got a spirit team with him too. Oh, Nitty, let me tell you, I don't know if you've been on my lives today, but guys, I had my appointment with my spiritual advisor today. And I usually have like a whole bunch of angels with me, but today it was different. I had, Nitty, listen to this one. I had 12 archangels with me today, 6 on each side. Yes. So you heard. So that was really crazy, guys, because she also pulls these cards. She has an angel deck. And so she pulls cards. And every single one of my cards today was an archangel card. And on my morning dance party walk, super crazy, as I'm doing my weird stuff, doing my third eye, sucking the solar energy. And then I'm sucking the solar energy through my palms. And then I'm doing it again through my palms. And then I'm putting it on my heart. And then I've done this new thing where I kind of put my my hands over my head and picture the solar energy just flowing through my body and healing all of the different, things and cells, and cutting all the cords and just clearing my energy all the way through. And then I ground it into the earth. And it's almost like I picture my feet growing roots into the center of the earth. So I'm rooted all the way from solar down to the core of the earth. So that's what I've been doing, like all my weird little movements. And today, when I closed my eyes and I had my hands on my heart, it was almost like I was in a swirl of light. And I was like, oh my God, it feels so angelic. It was like just swirl of like this white light. And I'm like, this feels so angelic. It's probably my angels. And I was like, I've been trying to pay attention to magic lately, because as you guys, have seen, like I've been saying lately, to pay attention to your magic, because then more magic will show up. So after I got out of that state, my little meditation on my walk, I started seeing butterflies and dragonflies, a swarm of them over my head, and then more butterflies and butterflies. I'm like, okay, yes, definitely my angels. Then I sat down with my spiritual advisor, and, she was like, well, first she pulled the cards, and all 4 cards, usually she pulls past, present, future, but one fell out the deck. All of them were archangel cards. I'm like, whoa, that's a sign. So anyways, then she does her little thing. She closes her eyes, and then she goes to the different dimensions to access your spirit team, basically. And when she got to the angel realm today, she was like, this is so different. She was like, because usually I have 40 plus angels with me. And she was like, this is so different. This is really, not like I've ever seen. And she was like, you have 12 angels today. And I knew it from my core. I'm like, they're going to be archangels. And she was like, and they're archangels, 6 on each side. I was like, wow, so it's like, guys, when you tap into that frequency and you tap into that energy of magic, of, metaphysics, of behind the veil energies, it's like more of that will show up. And it's like they're always trying to talk to you and give you signs and just, kind of put their hands or put their magic into your life, and it's a beautiful freaking thing. I'm telling you, this is like always confirmation for me, because as soon as I start feeling things, I just go with it. I literally go with it. And then when I sit down with my spiritual advisor weekly, she always confirms all of the things that I've been feeling. Insane. But anyways, I thought that was a cool story. I saw someone on here had a question for me. It is a Q&A, guys. It's a Q&A today. And I hope you guys got some questions for me, because I am ready to answer them. Okay. But yes, I'm going to keep on talking about my reading until I get some questions, and then I will cut my, oh wait. Okay. Here we go. I got one. Tere. Is it Tier? Is that how I say your name? How do I know if I'm on the right path? Okay. So my first advice to people, or to let you know that you're on the right path, is knowing, does what your action do? Does it light you up inside? Does it feed you energy, right? Do you feel an overabundance and a flow of energy when doing the things that you are doing on your path? Because at the minute that you feel like less energy, or you feel a little bit drained, or you feel like just a little bit uneasy within yourself, is the minute that you're not going the right way. Okay. Especially if you're one of those person, and I see your question too, Amanda, I'm going to get to it right after this one. If you are one of those people that doesn't like to wake up and doesn't wake up in gratitude, then that's an automatic, like, boom, that you might not be on the right path, that you should maybe shift something in your life. So, knowing and really questioning yourself, getting connected to your body, right? Because your body tells you everything. Your body is your intuition. So getting connected back to your body and seeing, does this energy fill me up, or does it take from me, right? Does it like add to me to give me an overflow, or does it take from me? And this is literally like with people too, because people will steal your energy. Does that person that you're with fill you up? Do you feel energized when leaving them? Or do you feel held down and just, without energy when leaving them? So you always want to ask yourself, do you feel filled up? Do you feel sparkly? Do you feel, that euphoria, the happiness inside of you when you're doing, or when you're with whatever it is, or doing whatever it is that you're doing, right? So that's kind of how you can tell. Amanda says, when calling on your spirit guides, right when you're saying you're praying, you don't ask, command, is it the same? with calling on guides. Okay, wait, I think what you're saying is, wait, when calling on your spirit guide, right when you say praying, you don't ask, command. Is it the same thing with calling in guides? You know what? When communicating with your spirit team, it's more so, I mean, I ask them to put their magic into my life. Like, I don't really command it, because I feel like, your guides, your angels, your higher self, all the beings on the other side, they're here to help assist. And I feel like, I kind of look at them as like friends or a family. And it's like, I don't want to command my family. I don't want to command my friends. I'm kind of relating it into our human understanding in this 3D world. Like, if someone tried to command me to come in and do something for them, like, I would feel a little bit like no, just because no one tells me what to do. My whole life, I've always been kind of against the grain. So, I ask for their help. I ask them to come in, show me that it's real. Please put your magic into my life. Please, guide me today. Please help me be a clear channel for your highest message today. It's like I'm asking with honor and love instead of commanding it. And even when I pray, it's like I don't really ask for things. Like, it's almost like I embody the energy instead of like commanding things. I'm more so like, I used to have a person that used to say, command that you land this plane, like all these different commands. But it's like, it's not really that energy for me. It's more of a knowing and an embodiment of, I know that I'm going to land this plane safe. Like, I know I'm going to get here safe. It's an inner knowing instead of more like a command. I mean, I'm not really that like aggressor of like a, commander. So, I mean, I understand what was taught before, but it's more of a knowing for me instead of commands. Nitty says, is all red light therapy reputable, or is there a brand that I recommend most? That's a great question. So that, yes, I would definitely say Joov, Joov, is one of the best brands that I have researched in red light therapy. And no, not every red light device is equal. So you definitely want to do your research on your devices that you get, because some don't even work well. Some aren't even programmed with the right nano watts or whatever the wattage. Like, some are not the greatest. So I would definitely do your research before buying a red light therapy device. And yes, like I said, Joov, Joov is my favorite. Tiffany says, what parasite cleanse and procedure do you use? Because I saw someone say that they don't all work. So I use my girls, the Worm Queen's parasite cleanse, because I mean, I've now done her cleanse three times in my life. And each time I feel so much better. I feel so much more energized afterwards, cleaner, more like myself. It has always worked for me. So I really love Kim Rogers, the Worm Queen. I actually, I have a link on my link tree on Instagram of her products, and they've always worked so freaking well for me every single time. And that's 3 times. And I actually put my son through a protocol with that before. And he, it was gentle enough to, not be crazy, because some of these cleanses these days will like have you having to stay home all day. Not cool. With her cleanse, at least she provides you a binder, so you're not going through those, really that bad detox reaction phase that a lot of different cleanses will make you go through. Free to be me. Yes. What blocks a person from experiencing ascension symptoms, i.e. ear ringing, crown? So ascension symptoms. So like, what I would say to that? I would say that belief is number one. So if you don't have, serious belief in what you're feeling or what you know to be true, you know what I'm saying? It's like that will kind of turn your signs away. So like I said, I started paying attention to my magic. So, today on my dance party walk, I'm meditating, I'm feeling my angels. I'm completely just connected in all ways to Mother Earth, to Sun. And I could open my eyes and continue on my dance party walk with seeing, the butterflies, and just be like, oh, it's just a butterfly. That's just normal. There's always butterflies out, it's the time, whatever. I could see the swarm of dragonflies above my head and just be like, oh, that's just dragonflies doing their normal thing, instead of really knowing on the inside, like, no, I know that this is a sign. I know that my spirit team and the people they're trying to connect with me. They're trying to show me, hey, I'm here with you right now. So it's like your inner belief and knowing that that's what it is will create more of that for you. And like the signs will keep getting clearer, because as I've done this more so and started paying more attention, my signs have gotten so much clearer than they ever have been before. So yes, I hope that answers your guys' questions. Anybody on TikTok got a question for me? Because I'm doing a Q&A. But yeah, guys, I mean, I would just, really start believing in the things that you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always wanted to believe in magic. I always wanted to believe that you could create your reality from thoughts. And now through quantum physics, they are starting to prove this by science, that this stuff is freaking real. And like I said earlier, I was interviewing Dr. Patrick Porter, and he's a scientist. That dude is so freaking smart, and he's always talking science. But today he got to go into metaphysical with me because, we like that stuff over here. And he was explaining through science what is actually happening in, our reality. And it's all provable by quantum physics, by science these days. Freaking phenomenal. Okay. See, Just a Fan says, I have been lucid dreaming of things and seeing them when I wake up, and seeing a ton of synchronicities. What is going on? That probably means that you are on the right MF path, okay? Like the right path. That means that, everything is so really, guys, there is no space, right? There is no time. All of that stuff is just of the third dimension. It's literally of like what we think is true, what we think to perceive in this dimension of 3D, right? But there really, at the end of the day, is none. So as you're taking from your dream world and you're seeing the synchronicities, it's like, everything is blended as one. And really, it's just a remembering and a reminder of like sinking into your path. You know what I'm saying? Like sinking into what you are and what you're supposed to be doing. As Dr. Pachter, I'm sorry, this interview is really fresh on my head because I just interviewed him, but he was saying like everything has already happened here. There is no way that you can mess up, like zero. You can't mess things up. Everything is already done. Your path is already laid out. Your future is done. Your past is done. Your present is here. It's like everything is already all mixed and everything is perfect and happening perfectly for you. And it's been happening like this over and over and over and over. So, when you're seeing all those syncs and you're like walking and you're getting the deja vus, it's like everything, it's like remembrance. It's your physical, I believe, it's your physical body remembering and knowing that this is what you're here to do. This is what you laid out for yourself. This is the life that you lived before. This is your perfect reality that you're just sinking into. You're not off path. So that's what I would say. How am I feeling today, Mr. Rabbit and Company? I see you. I'm feeling phenomenal today, actually, guys. I fixed my energy because my energy was a little bit off last week, and I had to really become aware of that. And that's one of the most powerful things that you guys can do in life is literally become aware of your energy. If you're off, if you're feeling a little bit different, if you're becoming reactive, if your triggers are kind of taking over you, to become aware of that, turn the mirror on yourself and say, hey, what is really going on with me? Don't distract yourself with stimulus because you feel uncomfortable and you feel a little reactive. So it's like coming back into yourself, meditating on it, just going into your body. Where do I feel these things? Why does my energy feel a little bit low? Why does it feel negative? Really asking yourself all of these questions and then doing things that help bring your energy back together, right? Which is, something I did. I went to the ocean last weekend and I just sat there for like 4 hours and I, dove in the ocean and I let pain wash away. I let the ocean kind of wash away, energetic cords and ties and sorrow and grief, out of my body energetically. And I just let the beautiful salt water and the minerals soak up into my body. And I felt so calm. And then I got on the sand and I started to journal. It's like doing things to always bring yourself back into that highest part of yourself always. So, that's one of the most powerful things that you guys can do, because we are humans. Number one, we ebb and flow. Things are never perfect, and you're never going to always feel amazing. That's just almost impossible for these humanly experiences that we have. So, what is the powerful and great thing to do to rewire your brain for gratitude, rewire your reality for, presence and magic and gifts coming in, is becoming aware and fixing your energy when you notice that it's off. Thank you so much. Incredible skincare recommendations. So guys, I use the peptide GHCU, the copper peptide, on my skin. And ever since I started using that, I'm telling you, freaking phenomenal. Okay. Copper peptide on your skin. They have creams now with the peptide. It's actually blue. So any type of blue like creams probably has the copper peptide GHCU peptide in it. And then also you can get a peptide like injectable form. It kind of burns. So I don't really do injectables of the copper peptide anymore, but that also really enhances and helps skin. Also, red light therapy. Red light therapy is phenomenal for like tiny wrinkles, creating more collagen, for wound healing even, because it's actually helping your body enhance and create more ATP, which is the energy that feeds your mitochondria for your cells. So it's giving your cells more energy. So you have more turnover, more cellular rejuvenation, all of that. Freaking phenomenal. Freaking phenomenal. Okay, more questions. Let's see. English subtitles. How do I do that? You know what? I will add English subtitles when I figure that out. Okay. So sorry. I'm sorry. How do you know if a person has good intentions? Okay. So diet for skin. I see you, Lucy. I'm going to get to you in 1 second. So to know if a person has good intentions is very, I am honestly, and I'll just be very transparent for you guys, I'm not the best person in answering this question, because I have had so many people around me throughout my life that I thought were good and had the best intentions for me, and really just ended up having the worst, So it's like, I mean, sometimes you can feel it, you can really feel people's energy. I mean, if someone, like I said before, if you want to know on the right path, like, do they fill you up or do they take away from you? That's a real feeling. So every time that you're with a person, do they fill you up? Do they make you feel better? Even when you're watching somebody online, even if you're like, I always tell people, if you're watching me and you leave one of my lives feeling like drained and sad and just, then don't watch it anymore, because it's obviously stealing your energy. Something about it is not serving your highest good, because if it was, you would feel energized and inspired and ready to go take on the world, And that is with physical people too. So if you're around somebody that makes you feel like a drag and it kind of brings you down and you feel less energy when they leave you, then obviously they're not good for your higher self. Otherwise, if they're filling you up, they probably are good for your higher self. But I'm not, the best person to answer that question, because I have gotten screwed left and right in my life thinking that someone had their best intentions for me and didn't. So, I think that it just kind of depends. And let me just talk about this for a second. Because I have done this so many times in my life, I've brought people with me and I've thought that they were my best friends and I've thought that they were just amazing for me, and I literally picked these people up, put them on my back and brought them everywhere that I went, right? And then it's like they ended up just betraying and screwing me over. And that can really turn a person cold, and it can turn a heart hard, right? That's why I did a whole live on don't harden your heart, because that is one of the most important things. No matter what, I know that my actions in my life, reflected love and wanting for my people that I love to be with me and have the success that I had, and just, ride this thing out so the wheels fall off with me. And so I knew that to be true for me. So I didn't step outside of my character, nor will I ever step outside of my character and change that part of me. because I know who I am. I'm still going to, bring the people that I love with me on the trips and places that I go. I'm still going to try to carry people with me. I'm never going to let my heart harden because I've gotten betrayed by people that I've brought with me or have been with in my life before. I will never let my character change. I will never harden my heart, and I will never turn cold, period, because that is who I am at my core. And so I advise other people, stay who you are. Don't harden yourself because it only hurts you in the end and then brings you further away from your divinity. So I just went off on that little rant for a second. Let me see. Next question. Oh, someone want to say diet. I think someone asked a diet for what about diet for the skin? Yes. So you know what? I think one of the most important things to keep your skin looking great and through eating is just being hydrated, guys. And so many of us are not hydrated. Like we are consistently not hydrated. So guys, make sure you're taking your electrolytes so your water can actually get into your cells and you can actually become hydrated, because sometimes when you don't drink water with electrolytes, you're not even hydrating yourself. It's just running right through you. So you want to make sure to, drink and hydrate yourself to the fullest, and then stay away from sugar. I'm going on a whole rant about sugar tomorrow, so I will let that be for tomorrow. But sugar is not good for your skin. It ages you. It gives you wrinkles, all of the things. That sucks. Sorry, Tiffany, I just saw your comment. Here. That's okay. That's okay, because honestly, I thank him so much for being a teacher on my path. And you know what it shows when people take passive aggressive shots at people, and then like it really just, let's talk about the mirror for a second. Let me actually just get in so my TikTok people can hear. Thank you, Tiffany, for saying that you're proud of me and that you see the guy constantly taking shots at me indirectly and posting things that are not conscious. So like that shows me in my heart and soul, it shows me the pain of another, it shows me the consciousness of another. And it shows me that other is in victim mentality, blame game. And that's what I really want everybody to know. As soon as you step into that type of frequency and vibration of victimhood, then your universe, your life will reflect that back to you, and it will make you, give you more reasons to become more of a victim. So that is really not of me. That really has nothing to do with me. It's just a reflection of what is going to be happening in that person's life. You know what I'm saying? So it's very interesting because I don't even know, because I don't watch. I can't watch. I don't watch. I turn it. I just, that part of my life is no longer part of my life anymore. I have moved on into a different quantum reality. I have jumped timelines in the biggest way that I ever have in my freaking life before. And I am now walking in my divine purpose and fully connected like I've never been before in my life. And so I am so grateful to be in this energy. And I am so grateful to be of service and to take my pain and transmute it into love for people, because that's really and truly from the bottom of my heart and soul what I'm trying to do with this whole entire situation, is transmute my pain into inspiration to show others like, hey, you could be going through a dark night of your soul and you can still show up and you can still get through it and you can still accomplish your freaking dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to take your external circumstances and it just ruined you to make you bitter and to make you a victim, blaming external people and situations for your issues. Because at the end of the day, guys, we create our reality. We do that. All of us do that. Nobody else creates our reality. We carry the energy, perception, and perspective of our reality, which in turn quantumly creates that in the third dimension. So if somebody wants to sit and be bitter and blame and sit in victimhood, then their reality is just going to reflect that right back to them. And I'm sorry, baby, that is not me. That is not who I'm going to be. That is not who I'm trying to be. That's not what I want my life to be. And so I made sure I made freaking 1,000,000% sure that I was not going to step in that type of frequency and vibration, period, point blank. Because if I were to do that, then my life would not be becoming magic in the way that it is. I would not be getting booked out of the country to go speak in front of thousands of people. I would not have meetings with these beautiful, powerful, high, just vibrating beings of so much wisdom and knowledge. Those people would be turned off of my energy because my energy wouldn't be right. I have only been able to attract the beautiful interviews and the beautiful people into my life that I have been surrounded with and connecting with because of my energy, because my energy has been kept clean and of power and not of stooping to a victim, vibration or mentality where I'm just, not taking responsibility and an accountability for my life, my energy, and my actions. Because guys, when we start to blame everybody else for our issues, we don't take accountability for nothing. And that really is some low vibe stuff. That's literally, you are a victim of your external circumstances. You're a victim of your life. When are people going to really learn to turn it back around, take their power back, get out of that victim mentality, take accountability for their actions? So now, wow, look, I take accountability for all these different things. So now that I see it, I'm going to change it. So this will never happen to me again. Point blank, period. Anyways, okay, moving on. Next question. My bad. I had to go. Where do I get my peptides? I have a link on my link tree, Bio Longevity Labs, but it's a link on my link tree. I think you can get 15% off. Okay. Opinion on a chakra cleanse. Have I tried this and did it help with meditation? Okay, yes. So honestly, guys, I've been going to this cranial sacral place, and my chakras have been a little bit weird in certain areas that he's been able to feel. So I have been doing different frequency meditations to try to align my chakras and really, strengthen them. So, you can find all different types of sounds, music, meditations on YouTube that will help you kind of balance that out. So yeah, that's helped me because as I went back to the cranial sacral guy, he's like, whoa, your chakras are all great today. So anyways, what time do you take your magnesium glycinate? Do you do it right at bedtime or early evening before sunset? Great question. So I take my glycinate probably about an hour before I go, like lay down in my bed to go to sleep, because it calms your nervous system. It kind of gets you settled. It takes like the cortisol, it lowers the adrenaline. So you're really ready to just enter your bed and get all cozy and comfy. So I would say probably about an hour before sleep. Is dark chocolate good for us? I would say so. Absolutely. I love dark chocolate. It does have sugar in it. So, I mean, you kind of want to get the chocolate that doesn't have those high amounts of sugar. But yes, dark chocolate does have great, great benefits to it. And thank you so much, Amanda. I feel a brighter energy with you. Yes, my energy not fully to me, but it's, returned to me in a way where I feel very filled up. Very filled up. What about melatonin? Melatonin, you know what? I love melatonin. So there's a lot of discrepancies between melatonin and a lot of different research when it comes to melatonin. But for me in my personal life, I love melatonin. Melatonin helped me sleep when I was going through the first part of my dark night. Like I said, I was having so much trouble sleeping. So I gave in to the whole melatonin thing within the next 4 or 5 days. And honestly, it is the only thing that was able to keep me sleep and help me sleep throughout the night. So I think that it's like 3 milligrams or under is good for you to take. But I mean, I would just do a little bit more research, and I should do a whole show on melatonin. Cause like I said, there's a lot of differentiating research about it that, sometimes just, there's different research, but I personally, I take it sometimes. I don't take it every time, every night, because I don't want my body to get used to that and have to need it. But yes, I take it. What type of toothpaste do you use? I use Biocidin, 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 which is phenomenal because it helps your microbiome of your mouth, which is really, really important. Your oral microbiome in there. So it helps that to not like kill it, right? Because if you take mouthwash, don't do mouthwash, you're completely destroying the good bacteria in your mouth. So I would use biocidin or something that helps the microbes in your mouth. And thank you so much, Divine Words of Wisdom Official. Thank you. Oh man, I'm sorry. Amanda funny. Yes, guys. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen none of the content. I don't watch none of the content. Yeah, I don't watch none of the content. My microphone is cutting out. Okay. Fluoride. No fluoride, Logan. I'd never use fluoride in any of my. Is it working? Can you guys hear me? Are we good? Let me know. Give me some thumbs up if I'm okay. If my audio is okay. They're saying my audio on YouTube is weird. No, I do not use anything with fluoride in it. Fluoride is a neurotoxin and it will mess up your thought process. It'll keep you going slow. I mean, yeah, no fluoride. I definitely don't use it. I try to, drink water without fluoride in it. Therefore, I don't drink tap water because they have done recent research. Now you can find it that fluoride is a neurotoxin and it really affects your brain. So do not. Okay, good. My audio is back. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't use nothing with fluoride. No toothpaste with fluoride, no water with fluoride. No. Okay, my bad. Hey guys, it's all love. It's all love in here. I love everybody. I love all. And, my little rant about that was really just to help people to, not be victims to their circumstances in their life, but take their power back and know that we create everything that happens to us. Tart cherry juice. I love that. I love tart cherry juice. It's choppy still. What is happening? I think it might be because I've been online so much today. I've been talking a lot on this mic lately. Let me know if we good. You found a health store on 8 Mile and Gratiot. You from the DD. Oh, yeah, it's Logan. What's up, Logan? I know you're from the D. Thank you so much. TikTok. Yeah, guys. Everything is all good in here. We all family, guys. We all family. Everything is good. Okay, we back. All right. Thank you so much. I love how TikTok has the little things. They have the little things. I had like a mustache with a cowboy hat earlier, which was dope. They have all the different little, things. All right, guys, I'm still looking for questions. I don't see any right now, but let's see. You ever tried auto writing when channeling your guides? So yes, you know what I've done before, actually, guys? What I've done before is I have put my voice audio recorder on my phone, and I've literally just let it, come through me. Tiffany, no, you stay. Listen, we all family in here. It's all good. Ain't nobody feeling like everything is good. Okay. We all family. It's all love. My frequency is of love. My frequency is of peace. And that is, all y'all in here. And I know everybody feels the same way. And so please stay, Tiffany. It's all family. We all good. Yes, we good in here. We good. Okay. Back to channeling my guides. So I've channeled before, just having my voice recorder there and kind of just closing my eyes, getting into that flow state and just letting come out what comes through me. And then it's like, it'll completely, like, I'll leave me and then I'll listen to that voice note. And it's crazy sometimes of what, comes through the voice note. It's really wild. So kind of going into that flow state and turning your voice recorder on and just letting yourself go is like phenomenal. Is scripting a quicker way to manifest? You know what? I think so, because the more energy, I think that the quickest way to manifest is just embodiment, right? It's embodiment of your entire, mind, body, soul, emotion, energy. So it's like really embodying what it is that you want to manifest and seeing it with your 5 senses, not just seeing it, but feeling it with your 5 senses, like it is already here. You know what I'm saying? Like really just holding that frequency is what brings that reality and what brings that manifestation towards you closer. So, when you're trying to manifest something, it's really just completely getting there already, like as if it already is, because in that way you're changing your quantum field to reflect that in 3D, which is freaking crazy. They're proving this stuff with science, like literally proving it with science nowadays, how the quantum field is affected. This is the stat that will blow your freaking mind. So Dr. Porter told me today that your thoughts travel 10,000 miles. Your field travels 10,000 miles, which is freaking crazy. You're affecting people 10,000 miles away. Freaking insane, man. So, anyways, that's how strong our energy protrudes outward. That's how strong our energy is that like comes out of us. So when you can really hold the frequency, the energy vibration, and by using your emotions to hold on to that and to make it real, it creates a bigger energy, a bigger effect in the quantum reality world. So it'll, turn your manifestation and bring it back to you quicker. And I see Taryn, are you going to pick the piano back up? Look, how did you know, Taryn, that I play piano? Because I played piano for like 6 years back when I was, I think I played from like age 7 to 12 or 13 or something. And I still can play. Piano is so good. Guys, if you have kids, piano is one of the best instruments to put your kids in it, because now you learn treble and both clefs. So you learn how to read music, and it's so good for your brain. Like it really enhances your prefrontal cortex, and it like grows you, So now like you're able to see dynamically things very, very, different, and you can read music. So yeah, I'm so happy and grateful that my parents put me into piano when I was younger. If we can manifest anything, can't we manifest a healthy body, mind, and spirit? Yes, you absolutely can. So there's been so many different instances of people where they have magically healed themselves. Dr. Porter talked about an instance of him healing himself in the hospital before. I'm actually reading this book that Joanna, one of my community members, suggested to me. It's called Access to Superconscious. And this man that wrote this book completely healed himself from a debilitating health condition where they said that he was going to die and be paralyzed and just be effed up for the rest of his life. And he was like, boom, healed himself. So you have to be able to get into that type of frequency, which means that you have to be able to drop the chains of trauma. You really have to get into the present moment with no judgment. That means like, so many of us live through past experiences in this present. So we're coming to this present moment with so much judgment and so much, like expectation of what we think it should be. And a lot of us are stuck in that victim mentality. So we're like, blaming circumstances and things for our reality when it's like really what we create. And when you can literally drop all that and then align into, the person that you are, connected to God, connected to the divine, and you can align in that frequency, in that energy, and come to the moment of presence, then you literally can create magic. I mean, Wim Hof, they were doing things on Wim Hof inside of a lab, and they were injecting poison into Wim Hof, and he was able to just, get the poison out of his body completely, just wipe out the poison just by thought, because he has so much control over his body. So, it is possible to heal your mind. It is possible to heal your body with just thought manifesting. But you really have to get into that frequency, which means you got to do a ton of shadow work. You got to do a ton of meditation. You got to do a ton of body work. You got to do a ton of the things that get you connected all the way to God, to that divine frequency, that divine feeling, So yes, it is possible. What peptides would I recommend for weight loss? So some good ones. It depends on kind of what you're trying to go with. So tesamorelin is good for visceral fat. Ipamorelin is good. I used ipamorelin mixed with CJC 1295 for a while, and it shredded me. I'm talking like I was like super six pack and, my little pouch and my, little stomach fat pouch, little thing. I could never get rid of ipamorelin and CJC 1295 really helped with that. And, I've heard some things about Ozempic, so I wouldn't go in that direction at all because I had Dr. Brian Artis on my podcast and he was talking all about that stuff and some research that he had done with it. And it, wasn't the best for our bodies. So I wouldn't go in that direction. But, things like I really liked ipamorelin. I really liked tesamorelin. And you know what? I'm going to have my ex-sister-in-law back on my podcast to talk about HRT and to talk about, hormone replacement therapy, because it's just one of the most important things. And what I realized is that when your hormones are off balance or you're high estrogen or you don't have enough testosterone, then you can have like fat in places where you shouldn't have fat. And as soon as you balance your hormones back out, then you'll shred back up. So it's really, really powerful, getting the right like hormones in our body, because there's so much toxicity in our life, that we take in on a daily basis that make us imbalanced. And it's not the way that it used to be. Like, it is not. We are not ingesting the same things that we ingested 50 years ago before there was, phthalates and pesticides and all this plastic. Like, life is different these days. So therefore, we have to treat things differently. So, it's much different out here in these streets. So we have to take a little bit better care of ourselves. We have to take a little bit, more detox methods to be able to really cleanse ourselves of, the stuff that's happening in life. And, hormones. I mean, there's so many endocrine disruptors out here. Plastic is one. And they're finding so much freaking plastic in all of our bodies. I mean, we ingest water from water bottles. We walk on the street with tires and rubber and plastic in the air that we're inhaling. It's just almost impossible to get away from all of the things that can disrupt your hormone system, that can disrupt your endocrine system. So it's like we have to do the things, guys, to balance ourselves back out, because guess what? Hormones control everything in your body. They control the way you look, the way you feel, the way you act, the way you think. If you're imbalanced in your hormones, you're going to have an imbalanced life. And so the minute that you really get, back into, hormones, balance, then you're going to see your life change. Yes, my nails are, I don't think they're plastic. Well, they might be. They're gel. And here's the thing about, that I'm going to talk about. Like, I take my stuff and I ebb and flow with my toxins, right? Because I'm not going to just be a complete hippie out here living off the land and not having the pleasures of life that I like, which are like getting my nails done. I like to do my makeup, I like to get my hair dyed sometimes. I like to do certain things. Like, I really like the specific perfume that I know is not great for me. Now, here's what I will say. I balance it. I really balance my stuff. I don't go overboard with the toxicity. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to get acrylics, like fake nails. These are my real nails. I mean, I do have gel over my real nails, but I took the acrylics off because I need to give my nails a break. You know what I'm saying? So it's like ebb and flow with the amount of toxicity that you're willing to take in. And in my world, like, what I eat out of is not plastic. I don't heat plastic up in microwave. It's like I try to lower my toxic burden as much as freaking possible so that I can have, some great perfume on sometimes that I like the smell of. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not just going to walk around in a box and live like completely just not enjoying the pleasures of life because I'm trying to be super healthy. Like, that wouldn't make me happy. And I really feel like happiness and balance is really what makes a happy, balanced person. You know what I'm saying? So, and then guys, let's just talk about this for a second. Laundry detergent and softener. I used to love the smell of these things, but think about it. If you use those things, you are literally inhaling and you have on your skin all day stuff that your body is going to have to, detox from. So that means your immune system is turned on all the time when you're wearing those clothes with the softener smell and the detergent smell, and it's like overpowering you, your immune system is turned on all day. So I switched to free and clear, and I don't use, the dryer sheets and stuff like that anymore. And I've noticed that my toxic burden and like, just the feeling of inflammation is down because free and clear. I use free and clear. Because, I've noticed that that was a huge thing that was bothering my immune system daily and creating inflammation. My day is going freaking amazing. I've been having an amazing freaking day, you guys. Like today has been awesome for me. I've seen the magic. I felt the magic. It's because I've gotten back into my own energy again. Like I said, last week, I was a little off with my energy and I had to come back within, turn the mirror on myself and see, hey, I'm feeling these different things. Let me process some stuff and get back into the right energy. And today was an amazing freaking day. I cannot wait to announce to you guys who my publishing company is for my book that I'm writing, because it's like really out this world. Okay, I'm constantly fatigued. Any suggestions like estrogen or testosterone? I had caught the end of someone saying that could be the cause. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you feel, and especially for women, because they don't talk about this enough for us, I will answer your question in 1 second, P. So guys, they don't give us enough advice for women about us and hormones, okay? When women are low in testosterone, that causes the feeling of burnout. That causes the feeling of being too tired, too depressed. Everything becomes flat in your life. Like you don't have that spark, that energy for life anymore. Everything just becomes very, very super flat for you. So it's like, when you realize that and you add in the hormones that you need, you'll find your spark coming back for life. You'll find that energy coming back for life. So yes, if your energy is off, if you're low energy, one of the first things that I would do is go get a hormone panel and find out what is going on with your hormones. Because like I said, guys, hormones cause they create your mind, your body, your feelings, your emotions. And if they're off, you're going to feel off. And nothing can really, help that. And so many women, which they don't talk about, they talk about guys and testosterone and low T all the time, but they never talk about women and low T. Women need testosterone too. We need a great balance of hormones too. If our progesterone is off, we're not going to feel connected. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we need to get our hormones tested as well. And yes, women do need testosterone. Okay. And it adds into your drive, guys. If your drive is low and you don't have any, ambition to really do anything, or ambition to like get up and take on the world, and you feel just everything is flat, that is one of the first signs that your testosterone is low. So I would suggest for any women or even man on here that are feeling off, go get your hormones tested. I promise you, once you get your hormones balanced, you're going to feel so much better. And yes, Twala says memory is affected by hormones as well. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So P says you've had multiple concussions. Let me see. What was your question actually? Multiple concussions. You're funny. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me actually kick this person out. Did I try? Okay. Because that is real. Let me just actually address you right quick. Did you see what I did for that place for the last 5 years? Did you see and did you hear how many times that it was talked about what I did and what I built? So for that to be a thing, wouldn't that be kind of, not a thing? Wouldn't it be not a thing? Because why would I take from what, why would I take from what I built? Kind of weird, right? Kind of weird. Anyways, let me get back to P. Sorry. You said you had 2 concussions and I can't find your question. I'm so sorry. How do you change your energy after having 2 concussions? So that is a good question. because brains, right, when you damage something in your brain and like you're not getting the right blood flow to certain areas of your brain, that can really affect the way that you perceive things. It can affect the way that you think through things. It can affect all of everything. So what I would suggest for any people that have TBIs or any people that have, any type of brain issue, you should go try hyperbaric oxygen. Okay. Hyperbaric oxygen chambers are amazing because they will literally push blood flow into the areas of your brain that are not getting enough. So anybody that has TBIs or has problems thinking, yeah, no, definitely I would definitely, anyone with neurological disorders, yes, go to hyperbaric oxygen. That will change your whole entire existence. Like seriously, entire existence, because it is really pushing blood flow and oxygen into the areas that you need in your brain for your brain to function well. That is one of the best things. So I worked with Dr. Daniel Amen on a couple different things, interview him a couple times. And no, I'm not a doctor and I never said I was. But yeah, I've just talked to Dr. Amen a bunch, who has done over 350,000 scans on different brains. And he, invented the SPECT scan. And what he recommends most for brain injuries, and also have worked with tons and tons of NFL players, tons of football players, that, they go to hyperbaric, and that heals their brains, because now their brains are getting the oxygen and blood flow that they need. So absolutely, anyone that has any type of brain issue, go to a hyperbaric oxygen chamber. That will literally change you. What's up, John? How you doing? Do you feel like the alignment of the planets has an effect on your energy? I absolutely do, because everything has an effect on our energy, right? So when planets are in different alignments in the sky, that means different gravitational pulls are on us, different energetic pulls are on us, because everything is displaced. So it's just like our bodies, when we hurt our shoulder, sometimes we kind of like, favor that place in another place of our body. It's just a fractal of that. So it's like, yes, everything external in the universe affects the way that we feel. That's why, honestly, even with full moons, they put more cops on the street, because they know that more drama is going to happen, because the full moon, creates crazy energy, or like different type of energy within people. You know what I'm saying? It makes them more wild. So yes, I absolutely do think that's a thing. Let's see. Questions. I do. I care about a lot of people. And you know what? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist, nor have I ever claimed I was either of those things, but I have done tons and tons of research in my life, like so many, so much hours and hours, and so many thousands of books, and freaking just everything. I've studied a lot, and I've been around a lot of doctors, and I've interviewed a lot of doctors. So I'm just relaying the information and things that I have done for myself that have helped me in life. So I know for a fact, I had a TBI on the top of my head right here. I got a SPECT scan, and I found out that, I got hit with a pistol, right on top of my head. TBI. So I was getting, problematic issues here, and this was causing me to do certain things. And so Dr. Amen recommended that I go do hyperbaric, and so I did. And now my impulse control is much better, because this part of my brain that was affected from getting pistol whipped was impulse. So now my impulse control is much better, and I've done hours in the hyperbaric oxygen chamber. So I speak from experience. Advice on healthy eating. Okay, yes, I'm going to, you know what you should do tomorrow, tap into my my live. I'm going live at 7 p.m. tomorrow to talk about sugar spikes and how to eat for health, because what they are doing or figuring out nowadays, that sugar spikes are a huge reason for aging faster, and that if you eat a certain way in a certain order, that you can prevent sugar spikes from even happening. So even for me, I got a sweet tooth. I used to be a whole pastry chef. Like, I have a sweet tooth. So I allow myself, and I see your question, Reese, I'll be with you 1 second. I allow myself to have a dessert here and there, but I make sure that I do the right things during my eating and in eating my dessert, and do the right things afterwards to prevent that sugar spike or blunt the sugar spike, and to really help process, that into my body in a healthier way, if that sounds, right. How do you stop giving into temptation? Okay, so this, guys, this is important. So temptation, addiction, things, it stems all the way back from childhood. It really does. And how your brain is wired, right? If you're wired in a certain way as a child, then you will grow up with addiction habits. Like your brain is going to need dopamine, and there's going to need these neural, hits of things, of external stimulus that you will grab for it, because otherwise you will feel flat, not good. You will feel depressed. I mean, it's all wiring, right? So in order to supersede that, it's a hard thing to do, because trust me, I went through it. I was addicted to drugs and alcohol and cigarettes, all of that, all of those things. But you know what? It's like you become so freaking conscious in yourself and so aware in yourself and so powerful within your own energy that literally you say no to the external stimulus. It's like you don't let these things externally control you anymore. I smoked for like 16 freaking years of my life, cigarettes. And one day I was like, you know what? I'm done with this, because I'm not going to let this thing control me anymore. It was like a thing. It's just a freaking piece of thingy. And I'm like, am I really allowing this thing to control me? No more. So it's, at the end of the day, it's a choice. It's a choice. You either say yes or you say no. Either yes or no. And you just have to stay strong and conscious in those moments. Always to make the right decision. Don't fall into the temptation. Trust me, it's hard. But then once you get over that first phase of hardness, which is probably within the first, once you go past 21 days, you good, you're super good. But 72 hours, the first 3 days of saying no to that temptation, I mean, you really start to absorb and see how powerful you are as the creator of your reality, which, I mean, all of us create our reality. We all get to decide yes or no, this way or that way, do this or do that. I mean, at the end of the day, guys, it's always one choice away to quitting the thing, one choice away to getting out of the toxic situation, one choice away to creating a better life for yourself. I mean, it's extremely powerful when you see it like that. You know what I'm saying? But we get stuck. Like we literally get stuck in our emotion, our humanly emotions, but we really have to align and understand that we are not these vessels. We are the energy inside and around these vessels. And we can control everything externally as long as we fix our internal worlds. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a hard road to, go through, but then also, realize just how powerful we are. I mean, we are incredibly powerful beings. Like we incarnated to go through these hard things so that our souls could ascend and transcend. We picked these problems. Like I signed up for the addictions. I signed up for, the trauma. I signed up for all of these things. So therefore my soul could learn and grow from this humanly experience, so I could become the person I am today, to be able to talk about all of these different things and to be able to align and relate to all of these different people about all of these different things. I mean, this is what I signed up for in life. So this is what I'm doing with it, And so it's like changing the perspective of that temptation too, and seeing your power and how powerful that we all are, because it's really just, like I said, one choice away. And it's crazy that you even say that, because earlier today when I was on my live on Instagram, I was really going into, this last dark night of my soul, or this is probably the only dark night of my soul that I went through, because I stayed conscious the whole time, and it's really shifted me. I'm talking about Phoenix rising now. So different than any of the other instances that have happened in my life. This dark night has created so much awareness, so much consciousness, and so much wisdom in me that I would never take it back. Even though it was one of the most painful experiences I've ever went through in my life, I would never take it back in a million freaking years, because now I see why I had to move through it, because I would not be the person I am sitting here today, aligned with the divine, stepping into my true power, without it, without have going through that. So I have challenged people earlier today, go through the dark night. And I promise you, you'll come out the other side with so much more awareness, so much more consciousness, so much more wisdom within you. I mean, it's super freaking powerful, guys, like all the way freaking powerful. So that's, I'm going back to addictions, like going into addictions, people that are addicted to whatever substance or whatever thing it is. I challenge you to put that addiction away, to choose the other way and see what happens. Go through that dark night and tell me, once you ride through that and make it through that, if you're not the most powerful person in the freaking world, it's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, whoa. And thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that you love my work. I appreciate King Simon, my brother's in here. I love you, King Simon. I love King Simon. Hey, shout out to King Simon, the numerologist. He's like one of the most brilliant people that I know, tapped into his power. That's what we have to do, guys. We have to tap into our beautiful power that we have. And then once you're able to do that, it's like magic. You become so brilliant, so powerful. So just you exude that power into the planet. And it's like every single person in the whole entire world incarnated here with creativity and a specific purpose and reason and expression that we all are supposed to express, all of us. And once we can hone that and get into our creativity and our purpose, the gifts that we are able to give people are out of this world. I mean, King Simon, you just literally reminded me of that, because King Simon is in his purpose. You know what I'm saying? And the ways that King Simon has been able to help me in my life is amazing. And if he were to never have found his divine purpose and aligned with his creative power, then he would have never been able to affect me in the way that he has. You know what I'm saying? And by affecting me in the way that he has, I have been able to affect more in the way that I have. So it's like, guys, we have to fall back into us as people, fall back into our divine creativity, our power, our purpose, so that we are able to express that on the planet to others, because that is the gift to others. That's our gift to others. And when we're not aligning with that, and when we're distracting ourselves from that and pouring into everybody else's dream and magic and life, and we forget about us, then we are doing us, God, the universe, source, a disservice, and everybody else on the planet, the collective, a disservice on this freaking planet, man. Seriously, like, find your divine purpose and align with that, because that is what is your gift to the world. That's what you're supposed to give to the world. Is that the butterfly effect or domino? I think that's kind of like the same thing. You know what? That's a good question, Amanda. I'm gonna have to look into that, because the butterfly effect is like one thing that changes all the realities, right? And creates all these different realities. And the domino effect is like one thing that just, ends up. I gotta look into that. That was a good question. And yes, see, everybody loves King Simon. What do you think about us being outside at night time, knowing that everything ages at night? You know what, Logan? I don't really understand that question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But because everything ages at night, I think everything ages in our perspective of aging. I found out today that in science, we are not even supposed to age, right? Like, our cells are not supposed to get older. Aging is honestly a disease. And if we were to be able to get into the consciousness of present moment, then our cells should not age, which is wild. I have to look into this, but this is what I learned today from a doctor. So I'm not just, talking out my butt. Like, I literally found this out from a doctor, that our cells are not supposed to age. Through science, they're proving that. They only age because of our emotions, our thoughts, our perceptions, I want to look more into this. This is deep, super deep. Yes. Okay. Next. The brain is supposed to be developing at night because, we should be sleeping. Oh, is that why? Okay. If you go outside at night, I think that if you don't get sleep, right? If you're not detoxing at night, like if you're not detoxing your body, if you're not detoxing your brain, then you will be filled up with more toxicity, inflammation, which does in turn age your cells more so. Inflammation creates aging, right? So yes, I mean, if you're not getting the correct amount of sleep, then yes, it probably will affect your, your bodies, and it will age you quicker if you're not getting, because that's like the baseline health. Like I started this live out with that. Baseline health is really getting great sleep, optimizing your sleep. If you can optimize your sleep, then your life will follow. Because I think he said, how many percentage of people don't get good sleep? I think it was like 70% of people don't get good sleep. And that is affecting the way that you move in life. So if you can fix your sleep, then you're fixing baseline health, period. Okay, guys. Graveyard shift. Ooh, the graveyard shift is rough because it messes your circadian rhythm up. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. But yes, you're supposed to pull from the sun. Yeah, okay. Graveyard shift that's a difficult one when you really have to do what you have to do. But you know what I would do? I would get one of those solar panels. I would just make sure that you're getting enough vitamin D. And I would, just, oh man, for people with that, it's so hard because your circadian rhythm gets all jacked. I mean, it's really just trying to align and structure your life in a way that serves you for the highest good, And oh man, being up all night too. So it's like, guys, we can only do what we can do at the end of the day. And it's not for us to live with regret and to live with like, oh man, like, I can't do this. It's really at the end of the day, it's all balance. It's all, creating your perception of reality, right? Because that at the end of the day is really what is the power that we all have, is creating your reality through your perception. Now it's choosing in every single moment. I am going to be better in this moment. I am going to be better in this moment. I am going to have an amazing day today. I am going to keep on becoming more powerful. I am going to keep on becoming more conscious. I am going to keep on becoming happier and calling in magic into our life. You know what I'm saying? Like that is really at the end of the day, like what creates our beautiful reality is the belief that we have beautiful realities, because your belief creates your life. Your thoughts create your reality. And P, you know what? I talked about this too. Regret. Don't have no regrets. Find the gift in your life because there's always gifts. Look, I'm not proud of every single move or things that I've done in life. I mean, I've not been the greatest human my whole life. I've done some shady stuff in the past, but I would not relive that. I don't regret that because that made me who I am today. And today I am perfectly who I am in this present moment. And just by regretting, it's like, that just creates guilt and sorrow, vibration in our bodies, inflammation. So instead of doing like the regret thing, look back and find the gift in whatever issue or thing that you went through to serve you today. Because guess what? You're not the same person that you were, are you? You have a different consciousness. You're at a different place in your mind today than you were back then. Yeah, see, I mean, it all happens for divine purpose and reason. And when you can really find the divine purpose and reason of that all, it's like you find your power in that. And P says, for my brain injuries and getting scammed multiple times. I mean, hello, me too. But it's like finding the gift in those things will rewire you to be more powerful and grateful in the future, to bring in more of that power and gratitude in your life. So like really just, switching it up and kind of going back and really just, forgiving yourself, forgiving the issues, forgiving the things, and, finding the gift, because there's always a gift, always a gift. And you know what, P? It's like the brain injuries, I really feel, and please don't get offended when I say this, I really feel like everything happens for divine purpose and reason. You got those brain injuries for divine purpose and reason. You got scammed for divine purpose and reason. And it's all, figuring out what is that for? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I mean, my life, like literally just changed. Literally, everything changed about my whole entire life. And in a matter of hours, I lost everything, all of it. I lost friends. I lost my partner. I lost my business partner. I lost my home, my car. I lost freaking everything. And I could look back on that like with regret and sorrow and say, dang, like, and just with anger and resentment. But I didn't want to do that because it was a lesson in my life that I needed to go through to learn to become who I am today. You know what I'm saying? To really just go through the butterfly, caterpillar, chrysalis, butterfly stage to become the phoenix rising that I feel like I am today. So it's like really just owning everything from your past that's happened to you and looking through the lens of power and ways that it's really added to you in your life. It's like, it really just shifts your perspective, and it helps you to bring your power back and to exude your power into this life. So, just some tips. Oh my God, I've been talking a lot. I've literally been talking since like 1:00. Listen, I went live on Instagram at 1, and then I interviewed Dr. Porter at like 2:30, and then right after that I had a meeting with I had a meeting with my team, and then right after that I had a Q&A with some of my community members who won the challenge, and then right after that I think I went live. Yeah. Guys, my mouthpiece has been going. I've been talking. I can feel it in my throat. But see, this is what I'm saying, guys. When you like step into this power, right? When you align with divinity, it's like you have an overflow of energy just to give and give and give and give. And it's like I could really sit on here and talk to y'all all freaking night long. But I want to spend some time with my kids. So I'm about to hop off here in like 5 minutes. I will take like a couple more questions. But literally, I'm telling you, like once you align with that divine power, it's magical. It's freaking magical because you pour from an overflow. It's like you can't get enough. It's just like you want to just keep going and going and going. And that's how you know that you're in your purpose. Does it feel like work? Never. This doesn't feel like work. This feels like alignment. Like this stuff lights me up. You know what I'm saying? It lights me up. It makes me feel so freaking good. Okay, what are your thoughts on grounding shoes? Will they block the grounding flow? No, I love grounding shoes. So if your shoes are conductive, I mean, that's better than wearing rubber-soled shoes. At least you're getting some of those, the ground. I mean, barefoot is my favorite, but grounding shoes, I have grounding shoes. I have grounding sandals. I have grounding flip-flops. I would rather wear those than the rubber-soled shoes because at that point, at least you're conducting some of those beautiful, abundance of negative ions, through your system, through your body. Know anything about the EMF that go on devices that protect you from radiation? Absolutely. I'm actually partnering with this German company. And I'm going to be, getting my water wand that structures water, and then also my cell phone that lowers all EMF that's literally tested. I love German products because German products are of super high quality. And so I will be announcing that soon. Grounding mats do work, but you just want to make sure where you source them from. You want to make sure that you're sourcing them from a trusted place, that you're not just getting the silver threaded sheets because those will stop working after like literally, I don't know, a week. Logan, I'm going to launch my partnership very soon. So just stay tuned because I will have all of these quantum products very, very soon. But yes, grounding products, you just want to make sure that you are sourcing from a trusted source that has great products like carbon fiber. Right, guys, is ground. Never silver threaded sheets. Those really don't ever work. They, a couple washes and you throw it away. Doesn't work. Oh my God, I love you, Amanda. She said if I could make you a hot cup of tea to show you my appreciation. I love you so much. I love my community, guys. All right. Okay, go to my website, Elisabeth Unlimited, guys. Sign up for my newsletters, for updates, for events. Guys, I'll be in Dallas October 19th with my spiritual advisor, Chelsea. She's like no other human I've ever freaking met in life. And she's going to be my special guest in Dallas, October 19th. And then I'll be in Vegas in November. I'll be in Miami in December. And of course, I'll be in Bali all month next month. I was speaking to all of these beautiful people in Bali and, sharing all of my self with them. I'll be writing my book. Make sure that you guys go to my website, Elisabeth Unlimited. Okay. Sign up for my community. I have so many community members in here and I love y'all so much. Like I see all the support. I just see all the support of everybody within here too. And it's just a beautiful thing because it's all freaking love, guys. It's all love. At the end of the day, it's always and all love. Okay. So go to my website, see what I have going on, sign up for the newsletter, sign up for the text messages. I'm going to start sending you guys texts soon. Just big things coming. Okay. Real big things popping. And as I always end, if no one told you today, I love you. I love you just for existing. I really do. I love you just for existing. You guys fill me up. Okay. Just how I'm expressing and answering your questions and trying to pour my love into you. I feel the love returning back to me with all your beautiful comments and questions. And I just, I honor each and every one of you for trusting me with this information and for supporting me and just being there for me and, all the way through. I really appreciate it. I am so grateful. And like I said, I hope that you guys got something out of this live and you learned a little something. I just, was kind of letting it channel through me. Whatever came through just came through. So anyways, much love, guys. I love you so much. I love you so much. And I'll be back tomorrow at 7 p.m. to talk all about sugar spikes and how to really eat for health. So tap in tomorrow. All right, TikTok, I will see y'all next time. And YouTube, I'll see y'all next time. Peace, peace. I love you all so much. Peace.
This podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The views expressed are those of the hosts and guests and don't necessarily reflect those of the producers or affiliates. We do not guarantee the accuracy of the content. Please verify information and seek professional advice when needed. By listening, you agree not to hold us liable for any actions taken based on this content. Thank you for joining us on this journey. We hope you enjoy the episodes ahead. Love unlimited, feel unlimited.
Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, I invite you to stay on this journey with me. There is so much more ahead. Courses, mentoring, healing circles, retreats, safe spaces to heal and grow. Make sure you subscribe, follow, and stay connected. We are not alone. In this journey, we're on it together.